So there are several different issues when it comes to sports and social class. But it's before I even get into these issues, it's really important to note that social class and social structure of economy is key and important in every country. In that you're not ever going to get rid of any type of social economy. Governments have certainly tried, but it is a structure that is beneficial because it's the movement of funds from different accounts and helping others. So going off with that, we're going to lead into the different issues with sports and social class. Now there are four, two on this side and two on the next. The first one is ethnicity and social class. So major professional sports teams, especially here in America, are primarily owned by white men, none by females, and none by any type of minority race. A few are owned by English European men. So understanding that a lot of minority ethnicities don't get any type of leadership positions, especially on that level. And then trickling down into coaching, administration, there still is a significant gap between white white gender versus any or not white gender, white ethnicity versus any other type of ethnicity. And because of this gap, it is forcing different races to be segregated. So that's why you see a lot of African American and families living in more of a lower class life. Not that all of them do, but you do see this trend. You do see a trend where primarily upper class is consistent of Caucasian men or Caucasian families. Moving on to gender. Now this plays like almost a similar role as ethnicity, and where women are significantly less represented in leadership roles. And you'll see that there's several different key points here in the slide. Going to a little bit more and a little bit back into the background, Title IX was enforced about 4 decades ago, where it was forcing institutions to represent women's sports either by having more female athletic teams or more female leadership positions. And while this has definitely increased over the last 40 years, it still is a significant gap. There are many more leadership roles filled by men than there are women. And another key note is that even though it's been 40 years later, men still hold the primary, more head coach positions for female athletic teams. And you would think that this would have changed a little bit, but actually in the last several years, it's actually decreased as well. So understanding that women don't get a lot of representation. Going a little bit further is for the women who do live in upper class societies or are considered upper class, they're usually linked to their spouses because their husbands are the breadwinners, or they're brought up in an upper class society, and so they're already kind of placed in there at birth. So that is important to note that many women living on their own or who have started off in lower income or middle class families generally don't reach that upper class status. At least that's the trend that we are currently seeing today.